Alrighty.
Oh.
So, this is the BlackCurse podcast, episode 3. It's your boy BlackCurse, the niggerized American. And I have a special guest today, my beloved sister, Ebony.
Hey, y'all.
So, my first question is, what was it like growing up with an icon? Your brother, Eric.
Because I was confused. What were you talking about? What was it like growing up with you? You were goofy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were goofy. We like to play a lot. We like to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
I also remember the times, though, when I would get in trouble and that you would act as if you did it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a mixture. Like you were still my big brother, but you were still my friend. So
yeah, man, I love you. Like for real, in real life. Nah, man, I really do. I love you. I appreciate you coming on the show, man. Like, the thing about podcasting for me, you know, I'm all about this black stuff.
Mm.
And the thing that I always like to present when I do podcasting is that, like, first of all, I am the owner of this. I'm the one that created this. This does not go without a black man creating this.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing of it is that, like, black men have families. Mm-hmm. Black men have loved ones. And you're my sister. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in a house with you. We have the same mother. Mm-hmm. And we also have the same father. Mm-hmm. So I think it's incredibly important that, you know, with us having that, we should be able to present that to the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, with us growing up together in the same household, you know what I'm saying? What do you think about our household?
Our household?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, she throwing me off. My baby. But no, growing up in our household, it was, we had a close bond. Mm-hmm. We did a lot of things together. Mm-hmm. Whether it was just like school, traveling, Mama took us everywhere with her.
Right.
Everywhere. And on those rides, even if it was just going to church, like, she took us everywhere.
I'm sorry. You want to pause it? Yeah. Please.
Okay.
Okay, so growing up in the house with you, with me, how was that? You know what I'm saying? Oh, like, how did you feel about us growing up in a household? What was it like? I think that because you were saying that it was loving, we did everything together. Mm-hmm. Mom took us everywhere with her. Mm-hmm. So I would like for you to, you know.
Yeah. So I just remember a lot of trips, taking a lot of trips, going to St. Louis. Mm-hmm. I remember all of that. But I also remember the times where you ended up leaving for college, and then when you got back. But when you got back, you used to always just kind of stay in your room. I would kind of stay in my room, and we would just kind of be in our rooms. Yeah. You know? So I guess, like, as we grew older, we just kind of spread it out.
Space.
Yeah.
Personally, the funny thing about that, right, when I came back from college, I was going through something. And when I say I was going through something, I was kind of like feeling like a failure. When I think about it. Mm. And it's funny because, like, I was expecting you to say something about, like, childhood, growing up in St. Louis before we got to Texas. But you didn't. You talked about that time. Mm. And with that time, man, I was going through so much. It was like one of those things, it was one of those moments in my life that was kind of like, played a major important role in my life. You know what I mean? And what that is that I went away to SIUE for 2 years, and wasn't doing too great as far as school go. Mom was like, you need to come on home. I don't like to say I regret things, but I wish I had stayed there and thugged it out.
Yeah.
And kind of went through the motions.
Yeah.
I don't think I was doing that bad in school
yeah.
for me to really like come back, but I don't know. I came back home and I was just kind of like, damn, I fucked up.
Yeah, it's weird because I kind of saw that, right? And I think, like, I know that you felt like that. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess in that moment I didn't really know, but I saw a change in you. And I just remember because I had, for y'all that don't know, I was in college my freshman and sophomore year, but my junior and senior year, I ended up going to a dual credit college, which was high school or whatever. But it ended up being the same college that he ended up coming back to.
Right.
And so it would be moments where, well, for a while, I was riding to school with you.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. And when I tell y'all, he was mean. He was mean. Okay, like he was very upset, and I knew that because he would like get mad about stuff that really wasn't.
The thing
crazy.
The thing that I had like a hardcore issue with was like. This is the thing. I was in a very, like, when I say I was in a bad state, meaning, like, I'm back, I don't feel like I done fucked up. I'm at a community college now, and I'm driving my sister to college every morning. And my sister is on her shit. I'm not. And you would be like, I'm late, period. I used to have problems with being late. You know what I'm saying? As I got older, I got better at it. But like you'd be like, bro, I need to be at school at 8 o'clock. That means I gotta get up at 6:30. My class probably don't start until 9 o'clock. And if it did start at 8 o'clock, I'm getting that bitch late. So it would be like arguments like every day about that. But a lot of times too with that was like, man, I was like going through a time period of figuring myself out. Like literally figuring myself out. It was a lot of reading the Bible. It was a lot of reading books. It was just a lot of like, it was like a lot of me like gaining information and knowledge about who I was and what do I want and what is your purpose? Where are you going? What are you going to do? And a lot of it was that, for instance, I knew I wanted to be a businessman. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Off the rip, I always had that in me. But like, you know, without black consciousness, I had no sense of direction. I had no sense of why do you want to be in business. It was just like I wanted to make money. I thought it was cool to make money. But then with black consciousness, it was like reading books and reading economic books about life and things of that nature. With black people, it was like, no, bro.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. You should do business. You should be good at it. You should figure it out because black people are in the predicament they are in because they have no business.
Yeah.
And when you look at it, black people absolutely have no. It'd be like I read a book and it'd be like white people control 100% of all the economic activity in America. And I'm like, never thought about that.
Yeah.
Wow, they do. It'd be like, and then for me, I'm one of those people like, when I read a book, I also try to apply it in real life and see if it's real. So that they say like, African Americans don't own businesses. I'm like, oh shit. When I think about, and this the thing, take the niggas in your life, take the black people in your life. They don't have no businesses, brother. They gotta they go to work for a white corporation. You know what I mean? Like they go to school to work for white corporations. This is facts. This is the truth. And the very fact that you had at a very young age wanted to be in business, even though it was probably from a very bad point of view, or you like, oh, I just want to make some money. Yeah. It's like, no, it's good that you want to do it, and you're right. You should want to make money.
Yeah. And
so anyway, I was going through all of that, and with you, it's funny that you bring up that time period because that was like a pivotal time period in my life, and honestly, I really didn't trip out what you was talking about. That's funny. It is funny. Like I give you this story. I was in college. I was like a freshman in college, and I had reconnected with someone I knew in my past. And they knew you was my sister. We went to Tower Grove with them.
Okay.
So we reconnected. We kind of reconnected, and they said, oh, how's Ebony and your mom doing? I was like, oh, they're good. Honestly, why the hell are you asking me about this? Girl, I'm trying to reconnect with you.
You're ugly. I'm not sure.
So she was like, you like everything is alright. I'm like, yeah, they're good, they're great, they are doing great. What? You know what? Let's get off this topic. I'm trying to see you. You know what I mean? But she was like, no, like real life, like. So how old is it? I'm like, oh, it'd be like a freshman in high school, whatever. I'm still like, bro, why are you asking me about my sister, bro? Who cares? Like, what are we talking about here, bro? I'm trying to see you, girl. Like, I'm trying to knock you down. Like, anyway, she was like, she was like, cause I went through a thing with my mom, and I went through a thing of. When I was in high school, I felt like I was the queen bee. I was getting old. I was, I was smelling myself a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then, Emily at that age where she probably feel like she that. You know what I'm saying? You and your mama, they probably bumping heads. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I was so annoyed with that. I was like, huh?
Why?
I didn't give a damn about what you had. Girl, I'm trying to get some. I ain't never had sex in my life.
I'm not so glad with you.
What are we talking about here? Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What are we talking about, bro? I'm like, man, they good. That's straight. Whatever, man. Anyway, so we ain't gonna come through and see me. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, years later though, I thought about that. And it's like a time period in mom life that, for instance, I never knew D like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? D was around that time. So, like, it's a lot of stuff that me and mama would say to me, and I'd be like, I don't know about homeboy in that aspect. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't there for that. I wasn't there when he was in the house. I didn't know. I wasn't there when you really, for real, low-key claimed him. Yeah. And then by the time I got back, it was like, I didn't see any of this. Yeah. But you two went through that with each other.
Because I was going to say, like you say, in that moment when we were going to college together and stuff like that, it was pivotal for you. Mm-hmm. But it was pivotal for me as well. Mm-hmm. Because now that we talking about it, it just made me think about a lot of stuff. It made me think of that point in my life and what I was going through. And kind of how it's crazy because I had a brother there. Mm-hmm. But in a sense, I guess I didn't see or I didn't feel that relation with you because of I'm just thinking about everything that I kind of went through, like like how me and mom were going through things, and then like me and like guys and stuff like that. But I never thought to come to you and talk about it. Right. But you were at the same school that I was at. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I was going through all of this, and I had a brother there. You get what I'm saying? And it was kind of, it's just like, I'm weird. Just like, wow. And I think, too, when you talk about, like, D and stuff, like, it just made me think, because, like when me and Jordan are talking, he'll tell me about his childhood, you know? And so, like, for you to say, like, yeah, I was thinking you would talk about, like, St. Louis or whatever, but you went to that point in time in your life. And the crazy thing is just recently I started realizing that I don't talk about my childhood. Yeah. Like, I don't talk about my childhood at all. And it's not that, like, something just horrible happened. I think, I don't know, this may sound weird. You know how sometimes, we all go through different types of traumatic things, you know? And I think that I have, like, subconsciously pushed back some things. And I just really don't remember. Like, mama asked me about stuff, and I'd be like, I don't remember. Like, and what brought this up was Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm.
You remember when I was in the ROTC and I was training, right in the summer, and she had brought up like, you remember I came down and we did this and we did that. Like, I don't remember you being at my house. Like, I don't remember none of this. You know what I'm saying? I just think that, I don't know why. Maybe you do the same thing. It just made me think that maybe we both like subconsciously push back things.
Personally, for me,
it's not that serious.
No, on the cool. I feel like low key, I remember a lot. Subconsciously.
Okay.
And when I say that, it's like, okay, like I tell V on the podcast, like sometimes I bring up things that happened that I forgot about.
Okay.
And so I'll be like, oh man, I was in this thing at college, bro, and all these people came to the auditorium, and I had like, you know what I'm saying, like I was in this thing, bro.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I forget about that. If he was like, damn, all the people from school came, I'm like, yeah, bro, that was like, I was in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. It's like a lot of stuff, and I was like, a lot of times I tell him, I said, bro, when you look at all these books over here, when I read things and I've been through things in my life, I be talking on a podcast, and I was like, I can't tell you necessarily if they're true, but they happen, or I learned it, or I got it from somewhere, and I don't know where I don't know the source.
Yeah.
And I was like, so anyway, in a very odd way, I've been nostalgic lately. When I say nostalgic, meaning like, I've been in that very like, childhood moments, like, things that I was into, things that like, you know what I'm saying? And it was funny because Corey, I ain't gonna say his name, but one of our cousins, a young cousin called me and we was talking about, he was like, his brothers told me like, oh, you know, he ain't had sex yet. And I was like, oh damn, bro. So when we talked or whatever, I was like, man, you know, I ain't have sex till I was 21, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't tripping. When you get a girl, when you get a girlfriend, you will have sex as much as you want.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't shit, honestly. So I was like, and I was telling my cousin, because we used to hang around in college when we was 18 through 21, 22. I was like, man, but bro, I had so much fun and we wouldn't get no women. Like literally, I was with 5 or 6 niggas and we just ride around the loo, and we not getting no chicks. We going to concerts, we hanging out, and he was like, the difference between I think our experience and his, he was like, bro, honestly, I wouldn't get no chicks either. You know what I'm saying? None of my niggas was getting chicks. Yeah. But, you know, we not gay, we not doing no weird shit. We was literally just hanging out. Yeah. And he was like, what I think with my brother is, bro, he like, he ain't got no friends, he don't hang out with nobody. Yeah. He go to his dorm by himself. He was like, with us, we wouldn't get no chicks, and we actually we had like friendship. Yeah. We had like something, you know what I'm saying, where it wasn't as bad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't lonely. And I was like, it's funny you put that way, because there's a lot of things in my life where it's like, when I hear other people, I'd be like, damn, I want to live in that type of lifestyle. I want to live in that type of lifestyle in high school. And they'd be like, but damn, bro, honestly, it wasn't really a negative influence or a negative effect on me, because I either wasn't lonely, or if I was lonely at that time, I always had something to work towards, or it was something where it would make me not give a damn as much. Yeah,
but that was during SIUE, right? But when you came home, you didn't have that.
And what with that happened with me not having friends to just go and hang out with. Yeah, I had to do a lot of self-reflection, and at that moment in time, it was good for me to be alone at that moment. I feel like in life, it's good for you to be able to. At times in your life, you need to be able to hang around people. And those people that you're hanging around, they're a good company at that moment. And they may be bad company, but you're hanging around them for a reason. Yeah. And I had that throughout my life. But then I also had lonely moments where I was always doing something productive, or something that really took my mind off a lot of bullshit, or something that would make me feel, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that time, people like, when you brought up that time period, it's like, oh man, but nostalgically, I can't really think of nothing negative in my life.
But I want to say too, Well, I got a question. From the time that you moved back with us,
Mm.
and it being like a pivotal moment, when do you feel like you kind of got out of that funk? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you was there for a minute.
Yeah.
Like, even in the house, and then when you kind of got like your first apartment or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a man. That's great. This is beautiful. Hold on, let me make sure the camera's good. Oh shoot! Hold up! Hold up! Hold up!
It didn't record.
I got it on 2 cameras going.
Oh, it's 2 cameras going.
Yeah.
Oh.
What got going on? My bad.
No, it's fine.
This bullshit, man. Would have been a pivotal moment. Oh yeah, so the good thing about that, what SIU taught me was this: I was independent.
Mm-hmm.
I like, oh man, this is great because I was telling my girl recently, and with me being in nostalgic mode, and me having a family now, and having kids, having a kid. When I was at SIUE, even though I used to hang out with my friends,
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of things on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say I did a lot of things on my own, like, people don't know, I used to go to strip clubs by myself. I used to go to clubs by myself. I used to go to college parties by myself all the time. Because a lot of times my friends, they were in St. Louis and I was in Edwardsville or whatever. They tired from work. They got they got whatever they got going on that they couldn't come hang with me. So I would go by myself. I didn't need anybody to come with me and do things. And it was good that I did that.
Yeah.
It was like, for instance, like I would take Jermaine with me to, like, for instance, like underground hip hop. It would be like this spot where it was like on the south side, and it was like literally like rappers would come and perform, and their music was like trash, and they was it was underground shit. Mm-hmm. But I enjoyed going, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. And if Jermaine didn't want to go with me, I used to go by myself. I used to do a lot of this all by myself. I still hadn't had sex. I wasn't doing nothing crazy, wild. Yeah. I would just go do things on my own or whatever. And I was telling my girl, like, man, that was some things that I used to enjoy. I used to love the fact of, like, going out by myself. I used to enjoy, like, just doing things on my own. Sometimes I used to just ride around the city 3 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. Mama wasn't there. Nobody was there. Nobody knew or cared. Like, or, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I used to just ride around the city. Sometimes I used to always go and look at our old apartment building. Sometimes I used to just do whatever I wanted to do. Yeah. I had that moment in my life. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it was a pivotal moment because I was into this person who I named my son after. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about business, and he said something about this. If you want your own business, he was like, hey, I used to can tell you the concept, or I can tell you where he got the source from. Mm-hmm. But it was basically like they did a study in I think it was Milwaukee or somewhere. Mm-hmm. And they was like, people who have small businesses, they either work a full-time job or a part-time job. And they utilize that money to build their business up until they get to where they can be self-sufficient. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, that's good. You know what I'm saying? So with that, I had a job at the library.
Yeah, I remember that.
I got fired from Macy's. Then I got a job with the library. Okay. And then I started and listening to him talking about that or whatever. I literally applied for UPS that night. Now, I applied for UPS because somebody told me that, like, you can get that job quick. Mm-hmm. And I got 2 jobs. So then with my mom, you know what I'm saying, just, like, listen to consciousness and everything. Me and my mom just literally, and they would talk about independence and being, like, black owned and, like, having your own independence. Yeah. And saying that, like, you know, when you live, it's like basically when somebody pay you, they basically tell you what to do. And when you live in somebody's house, and when you're what's the word I want to say? You're dependent on them in any kind of way. They tell you what to do. So with my mama, at 23 years old, my mom is basically, I'm dependent on my mom because I'm living in her house, and she's telling me what to do. And I had a very firm concept and understanding that, you know what? I'm going to go leave. She was talking about washing dishes. I worked 2 jobs. I was going to school full time. She was talking about washing dishes. She was talking about cleaning up. She was talking about some other stuff that I didn't care nothing about. I didn't have time to do.
Yeah.
You know what, Ma? I'm leaving. I didn't cuss my mom. I ain't do no. But I was just like, you know what? I'm going to find an apartment today. And I literally left that house. And I went and found an apartment. And when I came back, she was like, I don't think you should leave. And she was crying. I was like, Ma, I found an apartment already. I move in on this day. Can you please allow me to stay here too? This day. When I say that independence, that belief, that stepping out on your own, oh my gosh, that changed. It took me out of my depression. It gave me a sense of understanding. It gave me a sense of like, I don't know. It taught me something about myself. It taught me something that like, bro, you don't like being dependent on nobody. You don't like being relegated to or subjugated to any type of system that is not created by you. So then when I got my own house, got my own apartment, that independence was, you get what I'm saying? Like,
no, it's crazy. I think the benefit of being a younger child is seeing the older child go through stuff. And you be like, you know, I don't want to do that.
And it's funny. And you know what's funny though, right?
Yeah. People
used to always say, the funny thing about me and what I understand about life, right? Sometimes put yourself in a very uncomfortable position. And people don't get that. People will be like, nah, I like to be comfortable. And I be like, no, nigga. Sometimes, and the thing of it is when you put yourself in an uncomfortable position, you'll figure out how to be comfortable in that position. And for instance, like, it had got to a point where, like, okay, I was good. I had got my first apartment. I'm chilling. I got 2 jobs. Going through it, living it. Big screen TV. Nigga, I had money saved up. Nigga got me fucked up. Nigga,
I remember that, yeah.
I'm that guy, bro. What are you talking about? I'm that dude. You know what I'm saying? What are you saying, bro? What are you talking about? And I ain't getting chicks. But I'm chilling. I'm living. So anyway, then it got to a point in time where it's like, man, my car that my mom got me from high school, when I got to college, broke down. I had to go get a new car. I put the car in my name. Now I have a car note. That was the first time I ever had a car note. Man, that car note fucked me over. When I say that car note fucked me over, meaning this. I couldn't pay all my bills on time. I couldn't it was like I had 2 part-time ass jobs. I just couldn't handle. I was going through a rough patch. It was a struggle, man. Like, for real, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like a real struggle.
I remember that.
But you know what? My mama, I love her to death. She'll tell me, she'll say, look, pay your bill, pay your rent, and pay for that car. She like, you pay your rent because you need a place to stay. I was like, okay. You pay that car note because you need to get your ass to work. To pay these 2 issues. Everything else, fuck it. She was like, nigga ain't got to know you ain't got no lights on. Nigga ain't know you got to know you ain't got no cable. Nigga ain't got no shit. Like, you got to just be in that bitch by but you know, you got to be in that by yourself. And I was like, that was the best advice ever. Because literally, when I say that was the best advice ever, bro, I literally paid my rent and paid my car note and everything else. But I never, the funny thing is, even with that, I never had my lights cut off because I pay my hey bud, we're recording right now. You gotta get up out of here. Hey, go back.
I'm just looking like, what is happening here?
Come on. Why, Mom? We'll be out of here.
Did it stop recording?
Yeah.
It stopped recording?
On one of them. But it's cool. I got it on there.
Oh, okay.
So. My bad. I'll rock with it. Anyway, I'm gonna keep it going. Keep the conversation.
Is it recording?
Yeah, on that.
Okay.
So what happened was that I was going through that, you know what I'm saying, and that helped me out a whole lot, cause it just taught me how to survive.
Yeah.
Like literally how to survive. Like, and that's that's the funny thing about me is like, in life, that's what I know. I know how to survive, bro. Like I don't know how to. It's like I don't know how to get a chick, but I know how to survive.
Yeah.
I know how to be straight. I know how to have a place to stay. I know how to fucking get back and. I don't know. I just know how to.
Yeah.
Do it, and it's funny because people will like they'll be telling me about it. Be like, but bro, you went out on your own at 23. Like y'all niggas wasn't really like.
Yeah.
And I was chilling, but anyway, going through that. It just taught me something, and my nights never got cut off. Cause once I pay my, that's what I was gonna say. Once I pay my rent, and I pay my car note, and the little extra cash I had, I pay whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I would literally pay all the things I need, getting groceries, this, that, and third. And then like with this filming stuff, just the crazy thing. It was points of times in my life where literally I had no money after paying all my bills. And all I had to do was sit in my house by my damn self. With books, with video games, with whatever. No internet, no cable, no nothing. But I always kept myself busy, productive, doing something. Yeah. I would try to write scripts. I would try to do all type of shit. But anyway, with the when I got my first camera and I got my little bullshit ass laptop, where it took me forever to fucking edit anything.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Literally, it'd be like my partner or somebody he knew some or VA or somebody. I'd be like, say, bro, shit, I'm finna I'll shoot your video for $75. And they'd be like, cool! I'm lowballing it. I'm just trying to fucking survive, you know what I mean? Like in real life. And I would shoot that video and I have $75 in my pocket. And I would like literally I sit all day, like I had no money, I couldn't do nothing. I would literally sit at my laptop and I just wait till it could, cause it was rendering. I'd sit there and let it render or whatever, and I would low key give some niggas some bullshit, but that's all I had to do. And they'd be like, man, that shit dope. And I'd be like, bro, I'm cool. I really couldn't even edit that bitch. For real. But fuck it, I got $75 now. Yeah. And with that $75, that would last me till I got paid or. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I went through that time and it was like on some lonely shit. Like on some, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like lonely shit. Like, and it's like, me personally, like with that, it's like, bro, I thank God for my life. Yeah. I went through things. I mean, and people would be like, man, you ain't really go through no struggle. I'd be like, but to a certain degree, I really didn't go through a struggle. But
I think everybody go through struggle.
Yeah, but I figured that was my struggle, and I figured that out. Yeah. I lived through it. I got to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But anyway, what's next? What you think?
Nothing. I'm just thinking about. Shoot, I'm trying to figure out my struggle over here. Like, no, I was just thinking because you being the oldest, I kind of learned from you. Yeah. It was a point in time where I remember like mama throwing you out the house.
She didn't throw me out the house.
Okay, what she did? Huh? Like what happened?
I just told you.
Okay.
I left the house.
No, I'm talking about
when I was in high school.
Yeah. Like it was like stuff like, you know, like, and that was a very random circumstance. Nothing that ain't like something that happened almost daily. You get what I'm saying? But it was definitely something that I remember, and I was like, okay, don't want to, you know, like, hey, let me figure out my life out. Like,
it's funny you talk about that too, because that was like that was a funny moment in my life.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, bro, which is weird, with Dad being down here now, whatever.
Yeah.
It was a lot that like Mom would try to put. She would try to put that big brother role on me. And I'm just one of those people. Like, I'm not an alpha male. I'm a beta. I'm not the most. I'm not a person that like to tell people what the fuck to do. I'm like a person that's like chill. I like to live in my own little world.
Yeah.
Literally. So sometimes it'd be like, my mom. If I said something to you, Mama didn't back me up. So, right. If I said something, if I thought you was doing something wrong, right, and I said something to you, Mom be like, "Oh, nigga, you tripping," right?
Now in that moment, I do remember her like, you tripping.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But there are a lot of moments where I feel like I was like the eyeball,
right?
Like, cause you and Mama are like similar.
We're both Virgos.
Yes. So there were a lot of moments where I felt like, okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
So like with that, it'd be like, okay, you want me to be this way, but if I say something to Ebony, you don't back me up, you don't support me, and I always felt like. I never felt that. That's why I'm not that. Like, I never felt that male dominance role. Mm-hmm. Like, honestly, when I think of my life, like, I tell niggas, like, for instance, with women's rights or women being empowered. Man, fuck what you talking about. Women were fucking empowered around me. Every woman I know was empowered. It wasn't no nigga empowered around me. Flat out. Like, so when you talk about black men handling up and being responsible and all that shit, I ain't never seen that shit. This shit not real to me.
I just feel like, to a certain degree, if that would have happened, it could have helped me a lot.
True. Exactly.
Not saying that, like, not trying to make you feel bad. I'm just saying that, yes, we empower ourselves because we have no other option.
Exactly.
I had no other option but to, because I couldn't really run to you.
Right.
And then me and Mom weren't clicking, so I had to empower myself. But if I had that person, brother. Okay.
And so, like, with me, with my life, that's why, like, that's why I even say I'm not great with women. Because I don't dominate women. I don't dominate shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm chill. I'm relaxed. And so, with that being said, like, with that happening, it was like, man, it was a lot of moments in my life, bro. When I left the house that night, I was like, in my mind state, I was like, bro, I'm not going back home, bro. So I was like, I'm gonna try. I had some money because I was working at Celebration Station. I had money in my bank account that I had saved up. So I was like, shit. I was like, I'm gonna go to my partner house, and I was like, from there, he got a little car shit. I was like, bro, you gonna take me to the train station in the morning, bro, and I'm gonna just fucking dip to St. Louis and see what's up with my father. That's real shit. So I go to his house. He was in college, but I knew he would come back home or whatever. So anyway, when I go to his house, I knocked on the door. Mom came to the door. She didn't open the door. She was like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "I'm Eric. I'm Jay friends. Jay here?" She was like, "No, Jay is not here." I was like, "Damn, that didn't work out." So then I walked like a long ass ways to Mesquite, and I was like, "Shit, man, I'm trying to find me a park and stay tonight." Then I was just gonna go ahead and somehow get to the bus station or get to a train station and get me to the loop. I don't know. I got to a certain point and I just stopped. I think I stopped at that hospital that's on Galloway. And I called her and I was like, "Man, come pick me up." And she was like, Mom was like, "Okay, I'm on my way," or whatever. She was like, D looking for you. So then when I got in the car with D or whatever, I was like, "Man, you know, I don't know." We was talking or whatever. And he was like, this is normal. This is normal for guys to do that. Like, whenever I get into it with my mom, I used to go sleep in the back. We had a car he said we had an old school car that was in what you call it, like in the back of our house. And I used to go sleep there whenever I get into it with my mom, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is normal or whatever. And I was like, yeah, you know, my mama, she tripping, she mad, she don't want me back at the house or some shit. She's like, "Boy, your mom was crying." I like, she ain't crying on that damn phone. He's like, yeah, she not gonna tell you she was crying, but she was crying about you leaving or whatever. And it was funny, like, cause when I got the appointment, she was like crying. I was looking at her like, "Mom, I'm a grown ass man." Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. What are we talking about now? Like,
I think it's different. I think it was different. Like, son and daughter.
The funny thing I think is annoying with women all across the board. I gotta say this. Shit, this shit's still not working. But what I think is funny about women, right? With African American, the population of African Americans, most of us are raised by a single mother. Mm-hmm. And if you look at those single mothers, they always have provide shelter, food, and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. I always thought it was weird with you. You'd be like, you have an issue with mom, and I'd be like, damn, fam, you a woman though. You a woman. What you talking about? And you'll be like, nah, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, nah, but you a woman though. What you talking about? Like, I wish I had my father here to tell me like, hey, Brody, when you doing this, that, third, you know what I mean? I'd be like, oh, ears. I'd be like, I'm gonna listen to him because he a man. You could tell me.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna listen. If you able to provide shelter, food, water, live your life, be productive, I'm gonna listen to you.
I think it's different.
Yeah, it's totally.
No, the reason I say that is because it's easy to say, yeah, if my daddy was here, I'll listen.
Yeah.
But that's because he wasn't. So, but I want you to think about if he was there every day.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? There are going to be feelings like just how you was feeling with mom that night. There are going to be feelings where you be like, nigga, shut up, like because you like. You do like so you're able to say that because you didn't see those other moments of him.
Yeah.
So of course I'd be like, when you see him, it's like, oh yeah, you right. But then it's like if you would have lived with him,
you would have been
for years. It would have been a totally different experience.
Of course, and I see that with Amos already.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like me being the father and being here in that house every day, and taking them to school, this, that, that. It's like a love-hate relationship. And when I say, look, a love-hate relationship, my girl was telling me the other day, she was like, when you in your room and you working on your stuff and you doing stuff, he want to come play. Mm-hmm. And you be like, bro, get off me. And y'all fight. He go to his room and y'all get mad at each other. And then, you chilling. You did your little stuff or whatever. You come out the room and you like, where Amos at? Mm-hmm. Oh, Amos in his room. I go in there. He coloring. He doing his own thing. And I go messing with him. Dad, leave me alone. You're getting on my nerves. Blah, 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 blah. I can't stand that. I will kill you.
See, and that's why I think it's not like just granted like male and female or whatever. I think that's just relationships in general. Say for instance, if you look at a relationship that is 1 year versus 20 years.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some annoyance in that 20-year relationship because like I'm not even gonna respond to what you just said because you getting on my nerves.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying. So
yeah.
I just think,
and I had to get older, but I was like, man, that's the thing when you don't have parents, or when a person don't have a mother or a father or something like that. What I have learned to had learned to understand is that like, even with mom calls me every day. You know what I mean? And sometimes I'd be like, man, like me and this dude at work, we was talking, I was like, bro, my mom called me every single day, and I pick up every single time. And literally, bro, I'd be tired, I just want to lay down. And we'll talk for 2 or 3 hours straight. Right before I had to go to work. And I was like, sometimes I'd be like, bro, my mom was talking about some stuff I do not give 2 goddamn fucks about. But this is her life, and this is what she's into. And this is what she has a problem with her, this is what she's feeling, and I like, she'll be called, I know you don't want to hear this, but I gotta tell you this. Blah, 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 and I sit there and I listen. And I was like, bro, honestly, I really just want to get some rest before I go to work. And this dude at work, it was a black guy, he was like, me too, bro, every single day, bro, like, this is no way, like, and I was like, but we both said, we don't know how much time we both got on this earth, and we don't know how much time she got on this earth. So you have to sacrifice that. You have to live in the moment with that. And you gotta accept it for what it is. And that's one thing that I've learned from mom. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of helped me with pops. You know what I'm saying? Because it'd be like, with him like coming down here now and with things going, it's like I have to live in the moment. Because I don't know. It'd be some shit like, man, last month when I called bro, he didn't pick up the phone. The way God is working, he's here with me right now as we're doing this podcast. I'm going to do a podcast with him as soon as I get done with you. You know what I mean? That's a blessing. Enjoy that moment. Cherish that moment. Document it. You know what I mean? Document it with the recording. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I had to live in the moment with a lot of stuff. Because if it was really up to me, a lot of shit I wouldn't even be fucking with or care. Like, I'd be ducked. I'd low-key be ducked out with my girl and Amos. Like, in my little world, doing my shit. Like, not even giving a damn about nothing. But I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. That was a lot. Taking.
That was
You're right, though.
Yeah. I take that. And mama, the funny thing about mom is that, like, she brings that out a lot if you talk to her, like, every day. When I talk to mom every day, she talks about grandma a lot. She talks about, like, oh, you know, my mom is seeing her, and blah, 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 and this, that, and third. And, like, sometimes I don't understand. And, like, for me, my understanding is this about life, and it may sound weird to some people. I guess it's kind of the same thing I'm saying. With grandma, right? I lived in the moments with grandma. When I was at SIU, I would go see grandma. She'd be like, hey, go give me a pack of cigarettes, go do this. We'd play 1500, the family game. I play 1500 with her, talk stuff like, hey, yeah, I whooped you last time. I got 3 on you, you know what I'm saying? She'll cook for me, you know, we'd hang out, you know. She used to love to watch her stories. And if you say to me with mom, she'd be like, but you ain't call my mom like every day. And I'd be like, you right. But bro, with mom, you know what I'm saying? I know who my grandma is.
Yeah.
Hung out with my grandma where it was just me and her.
Yeah.
And I cherish those moments. Don't bring up that I didn't call her every day. That kind of hurts. Because I don't remember me not calling her every day. I really remember her for playing 1500. Us hanging out. We going to get her cigarettes.
Yeah.
You know, it's stuff that I tell her mom. I was telling mama, like, we lived with grandma for a bit. I don't know if you was born yet. But me and mama lived with grandma for a bit. And every day, like Amos, how mama talk about Amos, how he all on you, he kicking your butt, this, that. Grandma Betty, she used to say, I used to tell grandma, you know, grandma, can I sleep with you? She be like, you can sleep with me only if you're not going to kick me in the butt. And I'm like, grandma, I won't kick you in the butt. Please let me sleep with you, grandma. Let me sleep. I won't kick you in the butt. Man, I would kick her in the butt. She'd be like, you kicked me in the butt last night. You know what I mean? And I remember those moments. And I was telling mama, I said, another thing, I can't think of this jazz, I don't know if he's blues. He's a blues singer. And I was like, grandma, when we lived with her, too, she used to work at the PX on the north side. And every morning, she used to take me to eat, to a certain degree, I still low-key eat Burger King damn near every day. A lot. Recently. And I eat the croissants. Because my grandma we used to eat that every morning. And she used to go on Kings Highway, used to be a Burger King or whatever, right across from that White Castle. And she used to have this like it was like a Geostorm. It was like a 4-door purplish car or whatever. And she used to take me to that Burger King. And the song that she used to play when she would take me to that Burger King every day, she used to say, it was the song, I can't think of this guy name. He was like, I think his name is Johnny Taylor, blues singer. He used to, my last $2, I'm not gonna lose. Got one for the bus fare and another for the jukebox. And she would play this every day. And she would say, I'm going to hit that boat today and I'm not going to lose my last $2. And I was telling Mama that, and Mama was bugging up. And I was like, that's what I remember of my grandma. Like, I don't know nothing negative or crazy. Yeah. I just know she used to take me to Burger King. We used to live with her. I used to see her in college. Wow. I just know the moments. I don't know nothing negative or crazy or bad of my grandma.
That's crazy. Because, of course, we different. So, like, you remember the moments. I remember the moments, but I also remember emotions tied to it.
Yeah.
And it just be, I'm an emotional person anyway.
Yeah.
So that's all I be getting is my emotions.
Yeah.
That's all. So it'd be the moments and then the emotions. And that's what I'm typically like.
Driven on.
Yeah. Just the emotions behind it.
Emotions about it.
And I know you like as women, but no.
No, I don't say that, man. Like, it's like women or, I mean, yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's just like for me, I don't know. I just don't be saying the. Yeah. I just be like looking at it like, man, the fun. It was fun. Yeah. That was like a joy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and it's like crazy because I only remember that song because of grandma. Mama didn't like. I said on one of my podcasts, Mama only played rap, R&B, and a little bit of jazz. Mm-hmm. Those are the only three genres of music that I know. It's not a very wide range, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But, even for me to say Johnny Taylor, that I only know that from grandma. Yeah. That's the only person who played that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Literally. I don't know nobody else. Wow. That's it. And I remember, and I actually do like that song. That song is a really good song. I love it. You know what I'm saying? For real, it's a great song. And it's like catchy to a way, like, cause the nigga like my last $2.
Yeah. I feel like I always hear you talk about that, like just that song. Yeah. And it's crazy.
And this came from grandma.
Wow.
Wow, right? Yeah. And you would never know. And it's like I could tell people I'm more closer to my dad's mom than my mom's mom. People like, what? I'd be like, bro, I talked to my dad mom more than I talked to Grandma Anderson more than I used to call Grandma Anderson. But grandma was much more of a grandparent, and that's the thing, I accept people for who they are. Mm-hmm. Grandma Betty was more so into her own little world. She had her own little thing going on. She didn't give a damn what she got going on. She doing her. Yeah. And Grandma Anderson was more so like, she was accepting, and she was, if you called her, she picked up and she would literally, she would chop it up with you. When you came to her house, she chopped it up. She would know. She wanted to know about your life. Even when I was in college, right? Yeah. I would go see Grandma Anderson. And Grandma Anderson said to me, so, I'm 18. I told you I never had sex at that time. Grandma would be like, so, what girl you talking to? Grandma, I'm not talking to no girl right now. I'll be on 100% honest. She'd be like, what you mean you're not talking to no girl right now? Like, Grandma, I'm not talking to nobody.
It's crazy because I remember both of them differently too. So like with grandma, I remember those late nights with her and mama. Mine was always with mama. I didn't never really have no moments where we were separated. So it would be like me, her, and you know how they had played them cards to like 2, 3 the next day. Those are the moments I remember when she's like cooking. When I'm, every time we went over there, mama would say, go ahead, wash those dishes for your granny, and so and her water, I don't know what always went with her water faucet, but it was like, it would be like this slow drip, and so I could sit at the table and talk for about 30 minutes before it filled up,
Hey, we still talking.
I'm just sitting with you.
No, go back, get up out of here. Get up out of here.
Uh-oh.
Go see Grandma.
Grandma, Papa.
Go see Grandpa.
Okay, look. Okay, so we are going to go and have a seat.
We can get a little break.
Okay.
That'd be good. This is good. Yeah. We good now.
We good now. Oh. What happened to the light?
There we go. Oh,
is this thing recording?
Yeah, it is. It's good.
Okay.
Alright. So, guess it's round 2.
More like round 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But no, we were talking about grandma, and basically those were the times that I remembered about grandma. Now, Grandma Anderson. I always remember this song because you know she used to have church at her house, and they'd be like, "This is today."
Oh yeah.
This is today that the Lord had, and they would always start their sermons with that song or whatever. And then I just remember her. I used to love her house because it had a 2-story, and the kitchen was at the top. And every morning she'd make us pancakes, and I just remember this one moment in time where, you know, because she would always have all the grandkids. And at this point, all the grandkids was playing, but it was just me and her. Which is, this typically didn't happen. But I just remember us being in the kitchen, and she used to have a blue bowl to mix in the pancake mix. And I just remember trying to mimic how she flipped the pancake, how she made the pancakes and stuff like that. I just remember that.
Grandma was dope. Grandma Anderson was dope. Grandma Betty was dope. Everybody was like dope to me.
Yeah.
It was it's funny when you recall your life, your time in your life. And for me, like I said, like man, I can't think of no hardcore time. Like even with my grandma Betty living in the hood, man, I ain't never seen nothing crazy. I know you did.
But often not really.
Yeah.
Cause I tell people all the time like the hood is fun. I mean.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's like for me, like I was telling somebody the other day. I like people think like, oh man, you grew up in a. Everybody when I'm in Texas. Because of who I am, everybody think I grew up in like a suburban area. And I'd be like, bro, I lived in the city in the loop. I lived in on the south side, but my dad lived in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I used to go to my dad. I used to catch the bus. Just that there. I saw a lot of shit at my dad's house. Seen a lot of shit just living in St. Louis. But like, from that, the hood lifestyle, that street shit wasn't cool to me. So like I just never really bought into it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I just never thought it was cool. I never really cared to be hood. I just saw that And then like people think like being hood is like rap music. Because rap music and entertainment and movies like sexualize it to make it look sexy. You know what I'm saying? They make it look like, oh, you get drugs, you sell your drugs, you get the bitches. This, that, and there. And I'd be like, man, fam, the people that actually saw dope, they looked like bums.
See, like, for me, I didn't, like, I'm sure you did, because, you know, like, with Daddy and all of that stuff. Yeah. I didn't see, like, that part, like, the drugs and stuff. I got more of, like, the kid aspect of it, so, like, all the hood kids at Aunt Liv's house, like, popping fireworks at each other.
Yeah.
Nigga knock. You know, there was a point in time where there was like a drive-by or something. But, I mean, that was just a cool get on the ground and we back to playing. But other than that, I didn't see like the drugs and everything. All I remember as far as like the hood, like Grandma's house and Aunt Liv's house. But just the closeness of it.
Yeah. I wasn't like this. I wasn't like really traumatized by it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't like. And it wasn't like I said, like it was people that sold dope, like that, like I knew, and it was like they didn't look like rappers, they looked like
regular people.
They're like regular people, and they plugged in on the cool. If I really wanted to be with this, like you know what I'm saying, like they plugged in, but I'm not really. I ain't trying to get off into that. Yeah, I ain't really built for that lifestyle, and then to a certain degree, Mama kind of low key made me that way.
I think because we were exposed to different things.
Yeah, we were exposed to a lot of things.
So when the summers I did go to Aunt Liv's house, I was like, okay, yeah, that's fun. Because I know come the end of July, I'm going back home to go get lobster tails. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like a lot of that. It is like funny because like I was telling V on the Garage Talk podcast. Shout out to the Garage Talk podcast. That's my other podcast. Go look at it. I got promoted. But anyway, when I was telling him, I was like, man, on a cool, damn, I forgot my train of thought. But I was like, what we was just about?
Basically, how at the end of the July, I would.
Oh.
And so it's two different lifestyles that we had.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I would tell him, like, you know, for me, growing up, my mom, like, it was funny because we was talking about the podcast. Mom, they were saying, like, you know, we was talking about, like, putting our kids in these environments. Mm-hmm. And I was like, on the cool, I went to private schools. My mom showed me a different lifestyle. We was around different shit or whatever. I was like, but shit, it was a crackhead that used to watch us. That was in the family. I said, and I would go to their house and I would live. I mean, I wouldn't live, but I'd be around them and I would see how their life was. And it didn't really like. It wasn't negative. It wasn't nothing traumatizing happened to me. I didn't see nobody get shot. I didn't see nobody get killed. It was like they would watch us and they would be super duper nice and we in like this roach infested place. And literally, true, right? Yes. And literally, mom would come pick us up and take us back to our little house. You know what I mean? Nothing happened. And I was like, shit, you know, so like, growing up and seeing that, and it was something my mom used to always say to us is like, damn, do you want to live like that? Like, to me, she was like, you want to live like that? And I'm like, hell no, I don't want to live like that. That shit uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. That shit ain't like really cool to me. That shit wasn't like, no, I don't want to live like that. Yeah. And in a way, I try my best to not like, you know what I'm saying, live like that. Or I try my best to, and personally with me in my life, it's like, shit, I ain't, as a grown up, I ain't had no fucked up ass.
Yeah, I think I try my hardest not to have nothing like that.
Right, that's like, even my first apartment, it was like some bush. It was like a shit going on in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
I think I'm just, I guess like prideful in a sense. So even if it was struggle, I tried to adjust the best way I knew how. Mm-hmm. And so like as far as like college went, like when I seen you came back from college, I said no. I don't want that. So when I went to college, that was my mindset. Like I'm not going back home. Like I mean, this is it. So either you gonna make it or you're not gonna make it. And I also remember like one thing, and maybe tell me if maybe this is a wrong memory. That like you changed your major. Oh yeah. You changed your major a lot, huh? Mm-hmm. And so that was one thing I remember. And so I remember the point where I had like basically failed ROTC. Okay, and I was like, okay, clearly this ain't where I need to be. This is not the route that I have to go. I said, okay. I remember having to sit down with myself and I said, you only have one time to change your major. One time. And so when I tell you I went through all of those majors trying to picture myself, and I chose education. Okay, and I'm like, okay, cool. I can see myself as a teacher. Bad, right? So I'm going through education, and it was cool. The first few years, you know, I'm just chilling. But then that student teaching part, and you working for free, and you not getting money and stuff like that. Even in that, I was just like, oh my God. Because I ended up having my baby, marriage. I had failed student teaching. I was like, and I was like, well, you chose it. Like, and you only got a year left, so you better figure something out. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And so it was just those things. And I'm lucky I just, you know, I guess in a sense I should say thank you to you because you were able to experience all of that. And I had taken it all in, and that's what kind of pushed me to continue. Right.
I always say this, and it's funny, like, the youngest always, all the people when they say me they are the youngest kids, they always have like similarities to me. And
like what?
Like meaning like they just think the same. They do the same things, you know, just the youngest child. The oldest child I always feel like, or hey.
Come here. Come here.
Where my shoe? Where my shoe? My shoe. Shut the door. My shit look like that.
But the oldest child, we the first ones to go through it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a lot of, with the parents, it's a lot of figuring out. It's a lot of things. Some things mama always say, like, some things I wish I would have changed. Or I'd be like, man, yo, you got an African American son who ain't in jail, who ain't fucked up, who ain't begging you for nothing. Be appreciative of that. You know what I mean? And for me, like, that's how I look at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess things I regret, things I don't regret. I don't know. I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and it's what it is. And I'm, like you say, like, whatever hand you're dealt, you kind of, like, you adjust to it.
Yeah. And
I can say that for me in my life, man, I adjusted to, I ain't had no for real life. I have to adjust to this. Or it's fucking me over, I'm homeless, or, I don't know, so it ain't nothing crazy.
Yeah. It
ain't like, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, the funny thing about it too is, like, with me being an African American male, when I'm around other African American males, they ain't never really lived my life. They ain't never really, you know what I mean? Like, and I ain't trying to say, like, in the sense of, like, man, be like, bro, like, damn, bro, you ain't never really lived on your own. You ain't never really low key been on no struggle. And then, like, I can see how they fear that. And I'd be like, damn, bro, that ain't shit to fear. That ain't shit to, like, really be like, it's low key on them. Cool, bro. If you stepped out or did this, bro, you'll be straight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I be like, bro, if you be put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, you will figure out that you adjust to the problem, to the situation, and you will gain so much more. You get so much farther than where you at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how it was for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I put myself in an uncomfortable situation. And, like, a lot of times, man, even now, I go through uncomfortable situations. On my job now, you know what I'm saying? Literally, they put me in a new position. Bro, I ain't getting no for real training.
Yeah.
I'm adjusting, bro. Like, and you know something that's crazy? It was like, I was low-key, like, mad about the shit. Like, every day, like, man, fuck this shit.
Yeah. And
then, like, I had to work with somebody, and he been there 3 or 4 months in this position. I'm telling bro what to do. Bro, after that, my confidence shot to the roof. I was like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I'd be like, I'm like, bro, I knew more. And somebody would be like, you low key, everybody been telling you that though, bro. Yeah. You know more. You ain't, you think you going through a struggle, you think it's bad, you think it's like, you don't know, but you know. And you doing it.
Yeah,
like,
it's those uncomfortable positions that show us things that other people have seen in us. Like, for instance, one of my coworkers, like, I already see, like, her qualities that she don't even see in herself yet. Yeah. You know? And so when certain opportunities come, she be like, yeah, hello, like, you're just not seeing it. And I just feel like we are our hardest critics, our worst critics.
Hey, yeah, I always been like that, you know what I'm saying? One of my friends, she used to always tell me, bro, my mom was the first person to always tell me this, and this has always been throughout my life. You so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You so hard on yourself. You have these hardcore expectations. It's low-key, sometimes unrealistic. And if you don't get that, you feel down or you feel bad about it, and it'd be like,
Ivory, go play. Okay, I'm finna get my shoe because you're not listening.
You know what I'm saying? I'd be like having those. I have those moments a lot. You know what I'm saying? And be like, at the end of the day, be like, man, you straight. People will let me, like, it's, and I feel like God does that. Like, you know, he put people in your life to let you know you straight. It's an old man at my job. He tell me every day, man, they show all these knuckleheads on TV, these rappers, these bullshit ass people. You come to work every day. You a great role model. I be laughing at him like, bro, you crazy. Like, I don't consider myself no goddamn role model, but he be like, bro, you a role model, bro. Cool, you handling your business, you take care of your family, you doing this, bro.
That's crazy, because I know one thing Mama always tell me is that I worry a lot.
Yeah, you do.
I like worry a lot.
You do. You worry a lot. You know.
I worry a lot, very much.
You worry a whole lot. And I think with me being a man, or a black man, I was watching a podcast one day, and these guys were talking. It was like number African American males talking, and they was like, man, you know, as a man, you always feel like you could be homeless one day. You have that sense of it. It can go bad. You know what I'm saying? Hey, miss, you want a whooping? Like it can go left for you. You know what I mean?
Oh. Y'all have to lock the door. That one and this one. And this one too.
So,
Problem solved.
you know, you always have this sense that, like, you know what I'm saying, bro, you can be on your ass in a blink of an eye. But if you're on your ass, you're on your ass. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be on your ass, but
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, you be like, oh shit, I gotta grind. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta do something. I gotta keep going. I can't just sit still. I can't just like come home and just chill. I gotta always be trying to like figure out what's the move, or I gotta be trying to think like 5 steps ahead, 10 steps ahead.
Yeah.
To try to like solve this or solve that. You know what I'm saying? And that's really a lot of times like where my world be about is that. You know, sometimes I can like not be what's the word I want to say, like
present in the moment.
Present in the moment, because I'm trying to think 5 steps ahead. I always think that like I could be broke tomorrow, I could be fucked up tomorrow, and I have to do some type of work. I have to be productive in some kind of sense to compensate for that. You know what I mean? Because literally I can lose my job tomorrow, and what the fuck you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, what you gonna have there? What is your plan next? What are you gonna, you know what I'm saying? And then, but with that too, I do understand that also sometimes it's okay just to be still. Just to allow things to work itself out. Because a lot of things are outside, majority of things are outside of your control. And that's where you could be homeless. It's because a lot of things are outside of your control. You know what I'm saying? That's where you have to believe in you have to believe in God or some type of how. You have to believe in something. Because like literally, so many things, like you go to work, people could be fucking with you. And I've been in predicaments where it's like, bro, I've been in positions where it's uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable that nobody likes you. And it's just how you eat. This is how you literally feed your face. And it's like, bro, you getting blackballed, you getting fucking, you've been put in an uncomfortable situation. It ain't comfortable at all, bro. And I go through it, and it's like when I say like I couldn't do nothing but sit still. It's like this. I'm making money, people on my ass. I don't know. I can't do nothing but let it play out. And when it plays, like, bro, I was good. I wasn't really.
No, for real. And I think what I found with myself is that I think of the worst possible scenario.
Oh yeah.
But then it turned out to not even be that bad.
I was telling, and like I was telling my friend, like, hey man, in a snap of a finger, your life could change. And he started like, yeah, shit can go bad. I was like, nah, shit can go good for you, bro. You can literally think like, oh, this situation happened. You be like, damn man, I don't know. This probably gonna be a little fucked up, I might have to kind of thug it out.
Yeah.
But I've been in thug it out situations, but come to find out, man, it really wasn't that.
Yeah.
But two, you also have to seize the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, you got to understand when the opportunity presents itself, you have to do it. Like even with my new job, my friend, when I got fired, my friend literally called me on the day I got fired. Like I was like, damn, I just got fired. Woo, woo, woo. You know, I wasn't even like in the bad side. I was gonna chill out for a couple months. Cool. I knew I could. And he was like, shit, bro, I'm at this new job. Shit, man. Go ahead, apply for this. I applied. You know what I'm saying? 2 months later, I got a job. I thought like my last situation was a little fucked up. This situation is different. It's new. It's helping me. It's good. You know what I'm saying? And but I seized the and I was telling him, oh, when I say seize the opportunity, meaning like I had told him, I said, I had told him, I said, bro, I'm cool. I wasn't trying to get back in motherfucking manufacturing. Fuck manufacturing after what I went through, bro. Fuck that shit. And I was like, literally, bro, I was gonna try to find. I was trying to go in a whole nother direction. Literally, I was trying to go in a whole nother direction. I was like, but you called me and you was telling me, and he was low key adamant like, I'm going to them people tomorrow, bro, and I'm gonna tell them to hire you, bro. This, that, third, bro. You need to apply.
Yeah. And
I applied. I low key really didn't want to.
Yeah.
I really didn't want to be a manufacturer. They turned me down the first time, and I was like, oh, cool, you know, whatever. It was meant. Like, I wasn't meant to be there. Then bro called me back. Yeah, bro, I went in there and got on their ass, bro. Dude told me to tell you go reapply. And I reapplied. I low-key didn't want to be a manufacturer, but it was a reason for me. It was seizing the opportunity. It was you ain't got no money coming in. I was getting unemployment or some, I was.
It's crazy. I just see, it's crazy because a lot of things we be trying to work out ourselves.
Yeah.
But when you have whoever you're associating yourself with in that moment, you'll see who's in your corner. Because even for me and my job, right? Of course, I didn't want to be there, and that's just a whole nother story. But my coworker from work, we were having our end of the year conferences with the principal, whatever. And she basically told my principal, like, look, she said, don't sleep on Ebony. Like, don't sleep on Ebony. She's an artist. Like, all of this stuff that we doing, all of this, like, community work that we're trying to do, that's it. Right? So, of course, she's like, really? Right? It's like, when I go to my end of the year, right? She's like, yeah, so-and-so told me, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, cool, I'm going to hook you up with this person. Matter of fact, I want you and your husband to come and do that, da-da-da-da. So now, because of who I have associated myself with, I have been put in places, and because my name is in rooms that I wasn't even in, I am elevating and walking in my purpose that God has called me in.
Without even, yeah, exactly. And it's not, you had no control over it.
No control.
Like, none whatsoever.
And it's crazy because probably like a month before, George's mom had wanted me to do her logo. And I had told her, mind you, I'm like in a funk, okay? Because I'm like, I don't want to get this job. Like, I just don't, just whatever. And I'm like, and I just straight up I said, I'm not doing art no more. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not feeling it. I said, you might need to call somebody. Like, I'm not there no more. And Jordan, when I told him that, because I had told him that before I told her, he was like, what's up? Like, that's who you are. And I'm like, bro, I'm not feeling it, like, at all. And so, one of the things that came along, the principal asking me, because backstory, we have a nonprofit, right? And one of our things to kick it off.
What is your nonprofit?
Community cultivation, right? And our goal is to connect the community, right? So through after school, summer school, then we want to do transitional living home for those, because my husband works in the juvenile center, right? So a lot of those children, when they are released, their parents have left them or moved to another place and they have no place to go. Yeah. So we want to do like a transitional living home for those kids that don't have nowhere to go, right? And then our end goal is to have a community center, right? But to kick all of this off, right, so this year we have gotten our name like legalized and finalized and everything, and we getting our status, 501c3 status and everything. But to kick it all off, we wanted to do a back to school bash, right? And so, when I got into my end of the year meeting, before I walked in, I was already kind of praying, like, Lord, do I bring this up to her? Because we kind of wanted to go and talk to her together with our shirts on, real professional. And I didn't have, like, the convicting feeling, like, no, I don't do it, right? And so I kind of was like, yeah, because she had brought up art. And I was like, yeah, I actually majored in it. Then I changed my major, and it was just a whole bunch of stuff. She's like, oh, okay, right? And so then I ended up telling her about our nonprofit and how we wanted to do a back-to-school bash at the school. She was like, are you serious? She said, I didn't know that you were doing all of that. I just talked to somebody yesterday about how I wanted to do a back-to-school bash. I want to work with y'all. And I'm going to connect you with the woman. So, back to the art. This is a long story. You want me to stop?
No. Continue.
Okay. So, The woman she hooked me up with, right, is our wraparound specialist who connects the community with the school. And my vision has always been, while a teacher, I want to also be a part of the community in some kind of way. Because I feel like I don't want my students to just see me as the person that they can come to about academics. Right? I want to be the one that they see who is like talking to their mom like, hey, you know, da-da-da. That one is like, look, we ain't got no food tonight. Okay, bet, let's go grocery shopping. Like, I want to be that person, right? And so that's the wraparound specialist. And so I met with her, and she was like, yeah, so, you know, the principal, da-da-da-da. She said this. And so I had already made my list of how I envisioned the back to school bash, or how we envisioned it, right? And so I showed her, and she said, yeah, just tell me everything you want, and I'm going to make it happen. However you see it, that's what's going to get done. Right? So I gave her my list. She wrote that list down. And she said, I'm going to make this, and I'm going to send it to all our partners, and they going to sponsor it. Right? I was like, in my mind, because, you know, I did a back to school bash. Right. And I had to do all the legwork, like, okay, who I'm going to get the backpacks, how I'm going to pay for the backpacks. Yeah. So I was sitting there like, okay, like, so what you want me to do, right? And she was like, well, you know, like, looking for something to come up with. Well, I guess you can figure out who you want to cook the food. Like, I don't know, right? And so I'm like, okay, cool. And she was like, there's another thing. She said that the principal says that you do art. I said, yeah. She said, well, I'm wanting my office painted, right? And I was wondering if you could paint my office. She said, then there's another thing. She said, our school we're building a pantry for the community. I was like, in my mind, I'm thinking, because it's just a long story. I'm going to have to go back to it.
Continue.
So she talks about this pantry or whatever. She says, you know, there's going to be a ribbon cutting and da-da-da. And she said, I wanted to know if you could paint the pantry for me. And I was like, yeah. You know? But it was crazy because, you know, I had just told his mom, I ain't feeling art. You know? Because I was already feeling like, I'm just not. It was kind of a weird feeling. Like, you know, I didn't want to be at the job. But I knew God was telling me to stay there. You know? And he had given me a vision of the job. And the vision wasn't matching my reality. And I was just like, okay, I must have been tripping because what you're giving me does not match what was happening here. You know what I mean? I just couldn't understand why I was still having to be there. You know? And so, even in the end of the year meeting, she was saying things, all of those things that I had already envisioned for the school. She was already saying how they were working in place. Yeah. And I was just like, wow. And it was crazy because earlier this year, someone had prophesied to me that I see you doing something with your hands. You a gift. Something like that. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, like, teaching, all I can think about that I do with my hand is art. How is art going to be incorporated into this? Like, I'm just not understanding. So to just see everything kind of manifest and flow. You get what I'm saying? And just for it to be so easy, not just, and because it was a moment where I had a conversation with Jordan, and I was like, this is like one of my lowest points, and I was like, I don't understand. And he was like, yeah, like, think about everything we want to do. Back to school, summer school, like after school, all of these things. So what does that have to do with it? He said school. He said your school doesn't have any of that. Like, it doesn't have any of that. Yeah. You don't see how this connects. You know what I'm saying? And so just to be like, and mind you, okay, the principal, she's not liked by a lot of people. You get what I'm saying? But there has always been favor with me, you know? And so just to kind of see different stuff, it's just crazy, man.
It's funny you say that because I feel that with me, favor. Favor. Like, I never think of it. I never really put like a name on it, but it'd be like, I'd be in a certain situation. I'd be like, on the cool, low key, why they choosing me? On the cool, I really be chilling. Like, I really don't be trying to be.
And it's crazy because, you know, me and my coworker, we were talking or whatever, And I was just, this is one thing we always laugh about, because throughout the year I always say this, bro. I just be trying to chill in my room. I just be trying to be to myself, and people come and find me. I remember one time I was in my classroom. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a great day. I'm gonna be calm, cool, collected, whatever. So I'm just like, and when I tell you, the principal, district specialist, other specialists, they all just came. I'm like, well, hello, like, what is happening here? Like, I'm just trying to be by, and so it's crazy because even in my end of the year meeting, me and my coworker had already said we want to be over the Sunshine Community, which is basically like, really building the community within the job. I know we're extra, whatever, we don't care, right? And so she was like, yeah, like, I'm down with that. She said, but I also wanted to tell you that, we have a lot of other committees, but a lot of people are requesting you. They want to work with you in those committees. I said, what? I said, wow, that's crazy. She just bust out laughing. She said, you said that's crazy? I said, yeah, that's crazy. I said, she was like, wait, why do you think it's, I said, because I don't talk to anybody. I said, I stay in my room. I just, and she was like, no, what you do does not go unnoticed. Like your character, none of that goes unnoticed.
It's funny you say that, because like that'd be me. They'd be like on the cool, bro. I'd be like chilling, bro. Like I really, it's like what you say like all the time. Like you don't know what God's plan is for you. You don't know where that's gonna go or how that's gonna go. And like I said, like it's the same thing with like my job. It'd be like people be like, oh man, like it'd be like this. Like I'd be working, I'd be chilling, then like somebody else want to be on some leadership stuff. Like they want to be on some. They want to be the boss. They want to be, and then it'd be like, bro, higher ups come to me asking me, what you think about leadership,
bro? And
they'd be like, fam, on the cool, bro. I really like rather just come to work, do my job, go home, do my thing. And that's what I be on. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? I really be on that, but people really be it like how you say, like it'd be times where we have like a gathering where like, we all get together. Co-workers. Higher ups would be like, so Eric, what do you think about this? I just need to think about it.
And that's what I'm saying. Because it was so many moments this year where I'll be in the office and I'll be like, why am I here? Like, why am I here? Like, it would be just moments where they would just call me in. And we would just be talking and they'd ask something and I'd be like, and I honestly just be so honest. I'd be like, because a lot of people, as far as like leadership is concerned, they either feel like they gotta have an attitude or whatever. And I just be like,
you really gotta be yourself.
Right. And that literally be me. I'd be like, I'm really just trying to understand how that, and then be like, oh, okay, so that's where people are going. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just crazy.
It's crazy because like even like in my even when I was saying like going through uncomfortable situations at my old job and things of that nature, I have come to a conclusion that time wasn't wasted. You went through that for now where it's kind of easier for you. You understand like certain things where it doesn't affect you, doesn't mess with you in turn. Like you just kind of, it helped you be better. Yeah. It made you a whole lot better. It made you a whole lot stronger. And at the time when you go through your little struggles and stuff, you don't even know that. Yeah. That made you a stronger person for the next.
And it's crazy. I'm gonna say too that even in the midst of like your trials, you never know who's watching. Because like I just met with my friends or whatever, and we were just kind of basically talking about each other's strengths, right? And one that they said about me is that like I do very well, like if the situation, I'm gonna say just say negative, where it's like people are talking about other people, because in teaching it gets real messy, right? They say you do a very good job of, if you not cool with nobody, like you won't talk about nobody. You won't talk. You just sit there and you be like, And I guess the reason why I do that is because, like, my vision is not just to focus on those people that are like bothering me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
My vision, I'm focusing primarily on my vision. I don't know who is going to be able to help me.
True.
So if I'm going to have an attitude with you over this, you just never know who's going to be able to lift you up. You know what I'm saying? They were just saying that, like, bro, we watch you and how you move. Like, there's never, even if it is somebody who has an issue with you, you gonna make sure you let them know it ain't no issue. Like, we're good. Like, hey, good morning. Like, you speaking, regardless of what's going on, you're speaking to everybody. You get what I'm saying?
You're pretty much the same every day.
Exactly.
And I was telling somebody that I was like, most of my supervisors that I ever had, they always say, it don't matter. They was like, I don't even know what you be having going on at your house. I would never know. Because you never seem flustered. You never, you come in with the same attitude. Like, it's like pretty much with you, I know what I'm going to get. Every day. You know what I'm saying? It never changes. And I was like, shit, I don't know. I mean, I guess I mask it well.
Yeah. No, I just had a teacher. We were talking, and somehow it came out that it was my first year teaching. And a lot of people are surprised when I say it's my first year teaching. And she was like, "Really? I never would have guessed." She said, "You never show it." I said, "Nope." Like, of course at work I'm just gonna. I mean, it is what it is. But 9 times out of 10 when I get home,
yeah,
how am I gonna get through this? Because
it's funny though with you, right? Like with you, you was always the kid that was to me, I always felt like you was the smartest. Like literally, you was the smartest. Okay. But you was always the smartest. And with that being said, you was always the smartest, and you was good at school. Like, you was real good at school. You was real, you can pass tests, you pass all those, like, you know what I'm saying, tax tests, bullshit like that. Like, I couldn't fucking pass a goddamn thing. But you was like, it didn't even with art, and it's funny, right? Because people would tell me, like, one time when I was at Tower Grove, I did something, like I painted on something, and I thought it was like the best thing in the world. I thought it was the greatest shit ever. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Last year, y'all done put my shit in the goddamn art contest, but this year, hey, put mine. This look. And the teacher said, she said, Eric, this is a nice picture. She said, but it's not nice enough to go in the contest. I was mad. I was super mad. And I really thought my student wanted to.
No, for real.
The contest. And when I would see you, and it's like weird because like I'm not. You like my little sister. Like, it's all love. And it was like with you, all your shit always went to the contest.
Yeah.
Your stuff, like, you know what I'm saying, as far as artistic go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your shit was always there as far as with school go. But anyway, it's funny now.
Yeah. When
I do things and people will be like, oh, you really artistic. Are you really creative? It was like a lot of times in my life, I used to always say, I ain't fucking creative. And it was, I would say that because of that. That was the time in my life where that like hurt my feelings that my artwork wasn't good enough. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? But what I have come to realize about like with art and being an artist is that I validate myself. I appreciate my own damn work. Like when I do this podcast, this shit ain't luxurious. We literally in the room, but I actually feel like I'm Oprah right now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think this is it is like for me. I validate from that. Like I feel like I'm bigger than what I am. Yeah. And I love what I do. I love like my art, and people see, like, people will notice it. And I feel like to a certain degree, like I've done like a podcast before with somebody, and they'd be like, "Bro, that shit was therapeutic."
Yeah.
That like you just sitting here listening to me. And when I think of therapy, it's all therapy is.
Yeah.
You sit there, you talk with people. You know, you say something crazy or out of line, or somebody gonna check you on it. Fam, you got your goddamn mind. People don't know. Me and V have hashed it out, bro. That is so ignorant. I go home and I be like, yeah, you right, fam, and it changed me.
Yeah.
And it was therapeutic and it helped me. I was talking to somebody and letting things that was on my mind. You know what I'm saying? And this is an art form. This is art. This is, you know what I'm saying? I'm maybe not good at what you call it, painting. I may not be good with my hands, you know what I'm saying? But to a certain degree, I do know how to create art. I am artistic, and it took me to be 30 years old to really embrace my artistic ability. You know what I'm saying? And another thing too is like with me, I always been considered what I was always great at is being an intellectual. Being able to communicate, being able to have conversations.
I was just finna say that, like, you say, like, oh, you did good in school and art, but you, on the other hand, you will have always been good at reading, very wise, and you can have conversation. Like, you can have conversation with anybody. You get what I'm saying? And me, on the other hand, it's crazy because, like, before this, like, fourth take, right? Us talking about just our memories and stuff. I don't know why, but it always seems like this feeling of cause like you remember a lot.
I do.
You do. I remember a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like sometimes I beat myself up about it. Yeah. And there was a sense of like inadequacy for some reason that came about, and I don't even know why. It ain't got nothing to do with you, but it was a sense of inadequate. You know, right? And so. Before we got out here, I was like kind of like over here just trying to meditate, get my mind together, right? And I just remember like my prayer that I always say as far as like give me the strength to just see the things that I can control, give me wisdom to show like things that I can control and things that I can't. And then we talk about like controlling things that you can't control, things that you can control, and then you ended up pouring into me about the things that I was able to do. You know what I mean? As far as like art and stuff like that. And it's just crazy because
you was always
there's, and I think too, like I said, we are our worst critics. Yeah. And so like with you might see me like this artist, this, but then when it comes to me and my art, I'd be like I have no words. Like I have no.
You know, it is funny you say that because, like, even from a communications, like, even for instance, like, people have told me that. You know what I'm saying? And strangely enough, I'll tell you the story.
What?
So, a point in time in my life, I wanted to reconnect with Dad. I think it was Auntie Glenda told me that Dad had a brother that was still alive. So I called his brother up, asked for the number, called him up. We had a conversation for a while. Mind you, this uncle, he has like, I want to say a master's degree too. He like really, he work in education.
Oh my Lord.
Hey. He had to. No, hey, get out of here.
We got balloons.
Alright, good job. It is locked on. That was that simple. Hey.
I need to use bathroom.
Oh, my bad, bro. Come through here.
Hey, Danielle.
Sorry.
I thought you was my mom. I'm like, dang, where's my mom coming here?
Sorry, y'all.
No, it's okay.
So, anyway, I called him and we had a long little conversation, and I was asking him about Dad's dad. And I said, oh, man, how was my grandpa? And he was like, man, you know, he was really smart. He was a reader. He was this, he was that. And I was like, oh, that's cool. He was like, you know, and we was talking, I was like, you know, people tell me like I'm an intellectual or whatever. I'm like really deep or whatever. He's like, he said, having this conversation with you, you are. And I see a lot of my brother in you. And he's like, and from this this family, we are very intellectual. We are extremely deep thinkers. We are extremely like into that or whatever. And I was like, dang, that was crazy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like, you know, it's things in your life that you never really embrace. And me personally, I always think, I don't know where I'm gonna land. I don't know how this gonna go. I don't know where it's going. I don't know why I'm wired this way or what. You know what I'm saying? But it's for a reason. It's for a purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for years, I've had people tell me to get on camera. I had people, you know what I'm saying? I used to always be afraid of camera. It's like now I try to embrace it and I try to talk. Mm-hmm. And that's something like I've seen as my, like I have come to learn that is my strength. Mm-hmm. It's like conversating, talking to people, listening to people. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I just embrace it. This is art. It's artistic. It's creativity.
It surely is an art because there have been times where I was like, let me call Erg and see what he thinks about this.
Yeah.
Because I need to understand.
Yeah.
And you'll be like, it's crazy because like the answer you think you might get, it'd be like totally different. And I'd be like, oh. And then I'd be like, so was I tripping? Yeah, no, bro, I don't agree with that. Like, I'm like, okay. And then when you say it, be like, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Let me fix that.
And you know, it's funny, even with that, right? Mm-hmm. And understanding that sometimes, man, I be feeling like I told my girl that I think I talk too goddamn much. I think I talk too much. I always thought that. Like I always, from the time I was a kid, I always thought I talked too much. Like, you know,
what?
Shut the hell up, E. Like, you know, I don't know. I always been like that. And if I talk too much and I say what's on my mind, I'd be like, I'm sorry. And they'd be like, what the hell you saying sorry for? Because I'm just talking too goddamn much. Mm-hmm. You know, even with us talking, I feel like I'm talking too much.
See, and I was just gonna say, like, I'm completely opposite. Like, I don't do a lot of talking. You can ask, like, Jordan, like, all of my friends. Like, I don't do a lot of talking. I do a lot of listening.
Yeah, for sure.
And I internalize a lot of stuff, and I just like, okay.
Yeah, it's a lot there. You know, I learned from you too, though. On the cool, like on some real shit. Mm-hmm. I be going through something because, like, a lot of times I be thinking I'm in control of everything. And control is this is the thing. I don't believe in controlling human beings. I can't control a human being.
That's true.
So when it comes to human beings, to a certain degree, I'm kind of like, do what the hell you want to do. Mm-hmm. I literally have no control over you. Mm-hmm. I can tell you this. I can say whatever. Mm-hmm. I can't control it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? When it comes to me, and when it comes to things I want to do or things I want out of life, I feel like I have all the control over it. You know what I mean? So I like control when it comes to me. When it comes to other human beings, I'm not going to control that. I'm not going to say much. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to, I don't know. A lot of times it could be some things with internally family issues, internal family stuff, where a person be like, oh, I feel like this person should be X, Y, and Z. I'd be like, bro, cool, that's where they at right now.
Yeah.
You can't control that human being, bro. You cannot. You can't, like, whatever you saying to that person right now, that's where they at.
It's crazy because, you know, like, I get a lot of questions as far as, like, me and Jordan's relationship and, like, the what ifs. And my response is always be like, I can't control. Like, I can't control anything that he does. Like, you know, and if that were to happen, I can't control him. Like, he's grown. Like, you just can't. And no one likes that response. Yeah. No one likes that response.
No, people don't. They don't like that you can't control a person. Like, and that, like, for me, me, you being my sister and you being married to Jordan, right? If I talk to you and you say you good, you good. I ain't finna, like, dive deep into your relationship. I'm the person that, like, I always tell people, niggas say too much anyway. Like, niggas be people be, and I'm sorry we flipping back from God and me saying nigga and cursing, but this is a real conversation. And they be like, bro, I don't know. I really don't care to know. Or I ain't gonna even say care to know. It'd be like, if you have a real issue, then call me. I'm your big bro.
Yeah.
As far as like small stuff you got going that could be solved between you and your husband.
That's the thing too. Because we're not figuring out relationships. But I'm just saying.
Yeah, because me and her don't have eye to eye with relationships.
Not at all. But I will. How do I say this? I feel like I'm a little bit more empathetic. With people. Because, like, say for instance, if I'm talking to somebody and I know you, there have been times where you have called me, and you be like, "Yeah, I'm just calling. You alright? Like, you good?" You're like, "Yeah." You sure? Like, what you want to talk about? You, on the other hand, hey, what's up, Ed? Nothing. Oh, okay, what you got going on? It don't be no, how you doing? Are you okay? Are you alive? Like, what's going on? No, that's not what you're going to get from her.
Alright, like, let me say this. It's sometimes me and you have had a conversation, right?
Okay.
I knew something was going on. However, it was not for me to get involved. and with that, right? If you can come tell me anything. Let me be real with you.
Okay.
You can tell me anything.
Okay.
And it's certain things I can read through the lines.
Okay.
And I'd be like, well, I give you the information without being personalizing. If that makes sense.
I don't agree with that.
I do. I really do.
My thing is, because you say it's not for me to get involved. Mind you, I think the same way.
Right.
It ain't for me to get involved. But I just feel like taking that extra step to really be like, are you good?
Let me ask you.
Rather than something. Why?
I'm horrible with women.
We know. Well, I don't know if they know, but I know.
When I say I'm horrible with women, if you ain't gonna come out and outright say what,
but a woman's not gonna do that. Like, okay, how about?
That's horrible. So you got.
But that's what we be like, because I feel like.
Now this is on the cool though. I'm glad you said that. Cause like I'll be just like, man, fam, if you ain't tell me what you got going on, I'm going. And sometimes, like for instance, if you gonna dance around it, I'm gonna dance around it.
Okay. Okay.
If you gonna dance around it, I'm gonna dance around it. And
I have done that. I have done that. However, if there is a time where I be like, okay, something's going on with this person, I'ma ask. And if I ask you once or twice and you say I'm good, okay, cool, let's keep talking.
Right.
But I just know that for me, I've asked you enough times to make sure that, okay, you sure you don't want to go down this route. But eventually, a person gonna tell you.
Yeah.
But anyway.
With me, I'll be like,
No, not at all. I just know, like, if this is something I want to talk to Eric about, just come on now and say it, because he's not gonna ask.
Yeah.
Hey, so this is what's happening. What you think?
And the funny thing about that with me, it'd be like, people would be like, oh, you ain't empathetic, or you.
I didn't say you weren't empathetic. I just said it out there.
No, what I'm just saying, like, cause me have conversations like this, and I'd be like, bro, on the cool, like. And sometimes, like, this is the thing with me. Let's say if it was a relationship issue that somebody is having internally. I've seen how people outside your relationship and what they said to you affected you. That
me?
No, I'm.
Or just in general. Okay.
In general, you know what I mean. That I'm not gonna ever speak to you about your relationship unless you want to talk about it. And that's how I am with a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen how a person said these things to you, and you didn't.
No, I get that. We view it the same way. All I'm saying is, I just take the extra step.
Yeah.
And this is what we were talking about with the relationship.
Yeah.
Just taking that extra step to really be like, okay. Yeah.
Nah, man, I'm Virgo. I live in my goddamn head. I live in my head, man. I don't be.
So do I. But I will check to make sure.
I said to my girl, I said, hey, I live in my head. I'm a Virgo. She was like, I do too. You really do? Nah, she was like, Boy, everybody do that.
Exactly.
I don't know.
You still gotta have to find a way to make sure that you are. I'm not so in my head that I'm
open.
No, that I'm just like overlooking what it is that you're going through too.
Yeah.
Because the things that I'm in my head about, you might be in your head about, and like you said, when you had that conversation, it's therapeutic.
Yeah, for real. No, that helped me a lot, And I guess too, like with my guy friends, they come out and say it. Like,
okay, but my thing is, you say this is something he always say. I'm not good with women. You have already come to the conclusion that men are going to say what they feel and women are not. So now that you know that this is what I'm saying, because take that extra step to go further when it comes to a woman.
And be quite fair with you, she's giving me game on a relationship. But I've been saying with my guy friends, and we like when I'm around them, they like we chop it up, man, straight to the point. And then they'll tell me they gonna come forward. It can be about relationship shit. And we hear it can be about some relationship stuff, and they be like, man, they tell me they probably was just that third. This how I feel about it. I'm fucked up. Woo woo. And I like it'd be crazy because people would be like, you gave me some good advice on some relationship tip. And I'd be like, oh damn, I ain't even think I was qualified to give you.
I think maybe is it that when you're just giving advice to your male friends, that's something that you can just give and that be it. But when it comes to you and like your relationship with a woman, not just like your significant other, but even mother, you can't just give that advice because giving that advice, you're also gonna have to put work into it. And I think what stops you from doing it and really like taking that extra step is because you don't want to do the work.
I sure don't. That be the thing. Like I don't.
And that is not okay.
And I can say with women, I'll be honest with you in the past, low key, like right when I say I'm bad with women, I say that to be low key funny.
I know.
And it's
it's honest.
It's honesty, and it's like funny. Like for instance, if you ever think about the guys who are players,
okay,
this is real talk. Guys who are real players, fam, they are calling they chicks damn near every day. They doing crazy. They going all out they way for they chick. They doing a whole.
Okay, are we talking about a player or a man?
What I'm talking.
My definition of player was.
No, I'm thinking you.
Okay, go ahead.
A guy that has a lot of women.
Okay, so he's calling all these women every day.
He is. He texts. If he ain't calling, he texting. He doing this. You know what I'm saying? He like.
Okay,
he going hard. I'm gonna be honest with you. Even if you say like as a girl, you be like, players, man, they ain't really give me a whole lot of attention or this, that. What I'm saying to you is this: he got 10 girls. I have 0 girls because I ain't text, I ain't call, I ain't give a damn. Like when I called your ass and you ain't pick up the first time, fuck you. Like I moved on, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? If I text you a couple times, I'd be like on some. It's slow. It'd be on some like, oh, hey, how you doing? And she's like, oh man, this nigga kind of lame. He ain't really talking about shit. Fuck you.
Not trying to put in no work.
Not trying to put in no work. Ain't trying to go the extra mile, man. I want it a little bit simpler. So, and that's just who I am. That's how I get down. But it's funny because like I say like I'll be with girls because I know if I really want to be great with women, all it takes is working at it. All it takes is communicating. All it takes is showing you're a bit interested. And I'd be like, I ain't got time for all that extra shit. That's what I'm on over.
Child.
And it'd be funny because like it'd be like, man, when you gonna be using your goddamn hand the whole life.
That's for real.
You know what I'm saying? And they'd be funny. I'd be like, man, I don't know. It's just funny to me. You know what I'm saying? But it's cool. Like, I got a fiance, so
everything's good. We're good. Hey,
I got a fiance. Hey, she probably be like, this nigga here trash, but hey, she ain't left me.
Cause I'm trying to help you. Clearly, you need some help.
But I need some help with
Yes.
in that department.
I
Yeah,
be trying to help my sister-in-law because.
bro, ain't. Yeah, I remember it's funny because it'd be times like I'd be like just being me, and you'd be like, man, you was like, oh, I could not date you.
I was just gonna say that. Like, I have always said I would not date you.
She'd be like, oh, I could not date you. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like
I could. Like, you're not willing to compromise. You're not willing to sacrifice. I just can't do it. How is this relationship gonna work? I don't understand.
And I would be like, man, fam, I don't know, bro. I just, But you know what? With all that being said, I do not go through what a lot of niggas go through. Cause a lot of niggas be going through a lot of crap with y'all women. I'm like, bro, it'd be funny cause like, I'd be telling my girl, like, I was telling my girl the other day, I was like, you know, when niggas become a relationship, they be having their relationship problems. Bro, I cannot relate. I can't relate, bro. Can't relate to it.
I feel like, to a certain degree, you might just be going through it, but you be so consumed with your own stuff that you don't even really be recognizing that you're going through it.
Probably.
See.
It'd be like niggas be having arguments. I'm like, fam, me and my girl argue, bro. What the fuck?
I guess because in my mind, I could just envision you just shutting down the argument, like, okay. Like, and that's why you're not having the argument. It's not that there's already a resolution being had. It's just that you're shutting it down, like, okay.
It is what it is, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's why you most likely don't go through what other men go through, is because you always shut it down or shut it out. All right. And then you just keep doing the same thing. Keep
doing my thing.
Yeah.
Damn, man. I love this. This is a very, what you call it? This is a very, man, this is good. This is some good content for me. I'm going through a transformation right as we speak.
Excellent. Because it's needed.
Girl, hell no. I ain't got the
You get on my nerves.
You said what?
You are.
Man, that's funny, man. I've enjoyed this conversation, man. I'm glad you came. Man, it's funny though, right? I did not expect this.
What?
I didn't. Okay, when we was at the mama house, right? He was like, "Bro, we gonna have you on the podcast." I was like,
I was really just kidding, but hey,
I was like, "Dang, hey, bro, that ain't shit." Like, you know?
I was just wondering why you had never asked me to be on the podcast. I was like, okay, well.
Man, you know, a lot of times it'd be cool with you, bro. When I be doing this, I don't really like to involve my family. Like,
oh, well. Yeah.
No, I ain't saying it ain't like that negative. Like,
no,
I'm just saying,
I get it.
I'm saying it like in a sense, like with this and with Genre House, with my company, man, this is my struggle, and I don't be want to like. I guess to a certain degree, I don't want to bring family into it where, like for me, it's like a struggle. You know what I'm saying? I ain't made no bread. I ain't made no money off podcasting.
Yeah.
I ain't made no money for Genre House, period. I'm in a hole majorly. You know what I'm saying? This shit here is...
I kind of get what you're saying and let me know if I'm tripping. You know how like some family members, they have these businesses and they be wanting like a whole bunch of family support.
Yeah.
And it just be kind of... Yeah. And I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It be a lot. But I don't see this as that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It be like, I don't be want to bring people into like what I got going on, and that's too why like a lot of times I be in my world. Like sometimes people don't even know. I go to work and I get off work at like 11:15 p.m. Sometimes, bro, I be in here editing to like 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning on my podcast. Like, you know what I'm saying? Getting to the grizzly, like getting to it, and I be working. You know what I'm saying? Then like for instance. Mama called me. That's why sometimes like on the cool, I take Amos to school late. Cause literally I was just up editing 3 or 4 hours, and then sometimes I have like some days if I be like, I ain't gonna edit today. In a weird kind of way, I start creating content, and I do it with my phone. I do it with this and I don't really let people know what I got going on, but I be working, and you'll be thinking I'm just like going to work and just. Sleeping or some shit. We be like, nah, on the cool, I take what I do seriously. and I put a lot into what I do, and sometimes with people they don't get it, and they'll be like, oh, you ain't make no money though, and they'll be like, why would you spend so much time when you're not making money? And they'll be like, because I enjoy what I do, and I like the fact that I enjoy doing something without making money, because once I make money, it's gonna be super duper easy. You know what I'm saying? Once I figure out how to make the bread.
Yeah.
But it's like, as far as the work, I always believe too, the work ethic has to come. It has to be there. If you ain't got no work ethic in it, it ain't going nowhere. You ain't gonna make no money ever. Yeah. And so with me, I kind of like, I just know how to I'm just like one of those people like, I'm just gonna stay down with this shit, bro. Hey, shit. We ain't lose a drug, goddamn me. We gonna stay down. You know what I'm saying?
So silly.
You said what?
I said this boy is so silly.
Yeah, but that's how I be thinking. Like, I'm gonna stay down. I'm gonna get to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hear. You know what I'm saying? And but I be proud. I be happy of myself, and it be like an internal. It be an internal thing where it's like, man, I stayed up to 3 or 4 o'clock. I'm putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? And then you know how you saying, like, you know, sometimes you may not think people are noticing or people care or people, and it be like, with this, I get that. They're like, damn, I'm seeing you, bro. You been putting podcasts out like kind of fast lately. And I be like, oh yeah, bro, I been getting to it. They be like, I can tell, bro, you been getting to it, bro. You been doing it. You been, you know what I'm saying? You been on it or whatever. But it brings the joy to my life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy like now. It's like, man, when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, definitely. Let's make this a personal thing.
At first when I said, I thought she was like, bro, I want this girl on my back. Like, no. And in my mind, I was like, because, you know, I was just playing at first, and I was like, well, what we going to talk about? Because, you know, like I said, I'm not really a talker anyway. So, yeah, man. And I was going to, after this podcast, I was going to be like, yeah, my bad. I know I'm not the best talker.
Nah, bro. It'd be funny because, like, even though it's lights and it's camera, sometimes you don't forget they there. And like, you know what I'm saying, like, I just know this is how it gonna go. I've been doing it for a little minute. On my other podcast, the Garage Talk podcast, you know what I'm saying, we got 23 episodes. Go check it out. Genre House. Yeah. Anyway, so
and where can we view this? Where can we?
We can view it on YouTube. That's where we at right now. Okay. That's where we're broadcasting right now. We're gonna get our shit together and put it on Apple and Spotify and all that. It's coming soon. Right. But so anyway, on my other podcast, we're 23 episodes in, and it was like so much of doing that and doing 23 episodes and us doing it taught me so much. It taught me so much about like talking, so much about like just podcasting and doing it. It's like and I see a growth from what we did. You know what I mean? Just from our setup, just so much, man. You know what I'm saying? And I learned a lot. I learned a lot about like life, about how if you want to do something, just do it. Yeah. Literally, like the Nike campaign, just do that shit, bro. If you want to do it, if you want to do something, you'll figure out the time to do it. Yeah. I'm just like everybody else. I find a way to do this thing. So I've learned so much from that podcast that it transferred over. And before that, I had another podcast called Black Miscellaneous, where it's only 2 episodes. And I had did that, so I did that when pandemic happened because we was shooting it at a library. That me and my partner, we would meet up at a library, we would shoot, and then pandemic happened. And kind of, we couldn't go to, everything was shut down, so we stopped, and we kind of stopped contacting.
But you know, I like the style it is.
Yeah, we stopped contacting and everything, and then when I was like, shit, hey, V, you want to do a podcast? We was already in the talks. But it just kind of like when that happened, the pandemic, and you couldn't really do nothing. Me and him was just like, shit, we ain't got shit to do. You can't go nowhere. Your kids gonna be in the house. Shit, let's just meet up and do a podcast. You know? Wow. So, anyway.
Well, I am proud of you for starting this little podcast thing. You know, I can definitely see, like, because, you know, we have talked about, like, living with you and, like, just the whole process and, like, your whole journey and stuff. And, like, I just remember different things, like you working at the library or UPS or, you know, just, like, I remember you wanting me to even make the painting for Genre House, and I just remember a lot of these things and just like those videos that wasn't really, I mean, the quality was like, It was a little shaky, but it was there. You can see where it was trying to go. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. I think my first music video. That's the thing. My first music video is somewhere on YouTube. I don't even know where that shit at. I don't even know who it's under. But I remember I did my first video. And the crazy thing about that, I research. I did no research. I was just big on just get a camera, get a laptop, get this, and just do it. So then when I did my first music video with somebody, and I showed it, I think and I was living with mama, and you said, yeah, you said something like, yeah, that don't look good, or it don't look, that ain't, you said something to that effect. Okay. And mama was the one was like, what the heck, like, pretty much, what the hell did you expect? Like, you got a cheap ass camera, cheap ass, the hell you thought this shit was gonna look like Hollywood? Like, it's not. It don't look like that. And that's funny to me because that's how I think of things. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you starting out, bro, that shit nasty, bro. But once you get going and you start figuring out, all right, this is how you do this shit now. All right, now you gotta spend. You spend 150, like that camera right there. That's one of my first cameras. That's the first camera I ever bought.
And look, it's still my.
And I'm still using it. And I was like, shit. But once I bought that camera and I still utilized, I still incorporated or whatever. It's like, oh damn, you need to get you a 1200 if you want the quality to be a certain level. Wow. You gotta spend this amount of money if you want shit. That's the first lights I ever bought. That's like $150. Oh, okay, I could do that. All right, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? I just pieced this shit up. I pieced my first camera up, and it was like, I pieced it up. I didn't have a lens, so I had to hustle up a little cash to get the lens. It's like a lot of this stuff I got, I had to hustle it up, and then buy it, and that was like my dedication to it. And my growth and what I want in the future is that, like, for me, I don't want nobody to ever give me money to do something I enjoy doing. Like, I don't want to do that. And for instance, I think like, okay, if you want the quality to be better, to get better, and I really do, bro. If you want a $10,000 camera, you gonna have to hustle that 10 grand up. And I think like that. Yeah. I think of like, if I want a building and I want to have a whole film studio, I don't think about nobody giving me no money. I think about I'm gonna have to hustle it up. I'm gonna have to save. I'm gonna have to build my credit up. I don't think in terms of nobody else. I just think about me getting money. And that's how I go about it. Yeah.
Inspirational.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how I think. That's how I go about it. But I appreciate you coming, man. This is really good. This is phenomenal. It's your boy BlackCurse, the nigga rise American. I have my sister on my podcast. This is episode 3 of the BlackCurse podcast. And I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest. You got something you want to say?
Nope. I love you.
All right.
That's it.
Why you say that?
Because you are.